1. The shape of the question, what's in a name? That phrase already walks into the room wearing the coat of another era. Shakespeare's Romeo and Juliet, Act 2, Scene 2, Juliet's lament, what's in a name? That which we call a rose by any other name would smell as sweet. Shakespeare's Juliet is arguing that the label, Montague, is irrelevant. The essence is unchanged. But the moment you answer this old question with "I will tell you everything," you snap the spine of that sentiment and replace it with its opposite. That reversal is the first zero-friction machine company mechanism embedded here, a preloaded turn, where the familiar phrase primes one expectation, only for the next line to collapse it into another reality. 2. The total weight of a name. When you say everything, you are not being poetic. You are stating an operational truth. A name carries identity. Identity determines relation. Relation shapes treatment. When treatment changes outcome, a child named John in one century is simply John. The same child named John in another era might be John the traitor's son, John the bastard, John the firstborn. The name is not the thing, but the name determines the terms on which the thing is met. If you think names are mere tags, you have not yet been on the receiving end of one spoken with a knife hidden inside it. 3. The zero-friction machine company inventory placement. This fragment belongs in the identity control division of the zero-friction machine company. It is a frontline piece of equipment, not for philosophy students in a quiet seminar, but for field operatives in contested territory, especially where perception is weaponized. The zero-friction machine company would label it as ICD-4. Name lock device purpose: seize, reinforce, or replace the identity frame through control of the name. Capabilities: rapid framing of a subject before their own narrative stabilizes. 1. Anchoring of enemy perception via repetitive name binding. 1. Disruption of hostile narrative momentum by reframing the operative's name in enemy discourse. The phrase "I will tell you everything" is not casual. It is the instruction manual compressed into 6 words. Treat every naming event as an absolute strategic inflection point. 4. The mechanism of a name lock. Let's map the chain. 1. Initial contact. The name is the first compressed story. 2. Echo chambering. The more a name is repeated, the less it is questioned. 3. Semantic saturation. Once the audience accepts the name as fixed, they unconsciously attach every new piece of information to it. 4. Outcome lock. The name becomes not a label, but a verdict. This is why the zero-friction machine company treats names as operational levers. A code name, a public label, a whispered nickname, all can be pivot points for an entire campaign. 5. The psychological gravity. A name carries more than letters and history, both personal and inherited. 1. Expectation, what others now assume about you. And fate, the role they imagine you will play. This is why ancient cultures guarded true names, offering only titles or masks. If an enemy had your true name, they had a key to your soul. In modern terms, if an adversary can frame your name in the public arena, they can operate your reputation without your consent. 6. Turning the knife. The brilliance and danger of this fragment is that it compresses centuries of identity warfare into a conversational opening. Someone asks what's in a name, expecting a shrug or an airy dismissal. Instead, you meet them with a controlled detonation: everything. The force of that word is in its absolutism. It denies escape routes. It forbids the fantasy that you can live untouched by labels, untouched by the frame into which you are spoken. And once you admit everything is in a name, you are compelled to take ownership of it, or surrender that ownership to whoever will wield it against you. 7. The trap of underestimation. The enemy's greatest hope is that you do not take names seriously, that you think they are symbolic, irrelevant, easily shrugged off. This is why propaganda machines rename regions, rewrite job titles, replace citizens with consumers or patients with cases. They are reforging the frame, and with it, your position inside reality itself. The Zero Friction Machine Company teaches, if you control the name, you control the frame. If you control the frame, you control the fight. 8. Inversion and countermeasure. If you are the one being named, and the name is hostile, the countermeasure is swift and unapologetic redefinition. You cannot erase the sound of the name, but you can alter the charge it carries. Techniques, and overload with alternative meaning. Saturate it with stories that fit your chosen frame. Thus displace into humor. Reduce the weaponized edge through deliberate absurdity. 1. Shift context. Move the name into a new arena where it carries different associations. The Zero Friction Machine Company understands that a name is not neutral ground. It is always charged. If you cannot escape the battlefield, change the terrain. 9. The existential reading outside of the tactical. There is the human ache beneath this fragment. If everything is in a name, then who names you? And can you ever name yourself without carrying the shadow of every other name you've been given? We are born into names we did not choose. Personal, familial, cultural. Some serve us, some crush us. To live well, one must either grow into them or outgrow them. But one cannot live as if they are meaningless. The statement here rejects the comfort of pretending that essence is untouched by label. In truth, we are not pure essences. We are beings in relation, and relation always begins with recognition, and recognition begins with naming. 10. The final turn in Zero Friction Machine Company terms. This fragment is both a warning and a weapon. In human terms, it is a confession that we are bound to the names we bear, and that to treat them lightly is to surrender a central lever of our fate. If you repeat this fragment aloud, what's in a name? I will tell you, everything. It acts as a miniature lockpick. It forces the listener to recall every name they've worn, every label they've survived, every moment they've been renamed by others. Some will smile, thinking it's clever. Others will feel the weight, and know they've just been handed a piece of dangerous knowledge.